Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and history hunters. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of American numismatics as we explore 6 of the most valuable and expensive ultra-rare United States coins ever pursued by collectors. These aren't just pieces of metal. They're historic artifacts with fascinating stories, extreme rarity, and eye-watering values that have made them legends in the coin world. From condition rarity modern issues to classic treasures that have shattered the most expensive and valuable United States half-dollar from 1972, with the D mint mark, is the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar found in exceptionally high mint state condition, particularly in grades MS67 and above, where it becomes a true standout in modern numismatics. While the 1972 D half-dollar is generally considered a common date in circulated form, its importance grows dramatically when viewed through the lens of condition rarity, making it highly appealing to advanced collectors who focus on top population registry sets. Its desirability today stems from the challenge of locating pristine examples that retain full original luster, sharp strikes, and clean surfaces, qualities that are rarely preserved due to heavy handling and storage practices during the era. As a result, demand for elite specimens far exceeds their availability, elevating the coin from an everyday collectible to a premium modern rarity with strong market interest. The historical context of the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar is closely tied to the post-silver transition period of U.S. coinage and the enduring legacy of President John F. Kennedy. Minted at the Denver Mint during a time when half-dollars were rapidly disappearing from circulation, the coin reflects changing public attitudes toward commemorative coinage and precious metal content. By 1972, the Kennedy half-dollar had been struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition for only 2 years, following the removal of silver in 1971, which marked a significant shift in U.S. monetary policy. Despite losing its silver content, the coin continued to honor Kennedy's legacy, and public hoarding remained common, influencing both survival rates and the way collectors perceive high-quality examples today. In terms of unique features, the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar carries the iconic design by Gilroy Roberts on the obverse, featuring a dignified left-facing portrait of President Kennedy with crisp lettering and balanced relief when well struck. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the heraldic eagle with a shield, olive branch, and arrows, surrounded by stars representing the states, a design rooted in traditional American symbolism. The coin measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs 11.34 grams, composed of a copper core clad with copper-nickel layers. What makes top-grade examples visually special is the presence of blazing original mint luster, strong cartwheel effect, and sharply defined hair detail above Kennedy's ear, areas that are often weakly struck or abraded on typical specimens. Rarity plays a crucial role in the value of the 1972 D half-dollar, not because of low mintage, but because of the extreme scarcity of coins surviving in superb gem condition. Over 141 million examples were struck at the Denver Mint, yet the vast majority entered circulation or were poorly stored in mint sets, leading to contact marks, dull surfaces, and muted luster. Coins grading MS65 and MS66 are obtainable with effort, but MS67 and finer examples are genuinely rare, with only a small number certified by major grading services. Minor double-die obverse varieties and strike anomalies can further enhance collectability, but it is the combination of flawless surfaces and exceptional eye appeal that defines the true elite examples and drives intense competition among collectors. The market value of the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar varies dramatically depending on condition, making it a textbook example of condition-based valuation. Circulated pieces typically trade at face value, while standard uncirculated examples in MS63 to MS64 may sell for modest premiums ranging from $10 to $30. However, values escalate sharply in higher grades, with MS-66 examples commonly bringing several $100s. The most valuable specimens, graded MS-67 or MS-67 Plus, have realized prices ranging from $3,000 to over $6,000 at major auctions, reflecting their extreme scarcity and strong registry set demand. Market trends show that top-grade modern Kennedy halves have experienced steady appreciation, driven by increased interest in high-quality clad coinage and competitive collecting. Collectors seeking to acquire a valuable 1972D Kennedy half-dollar should focus on careful examination of luster, surface preservation, and strike quality, paying special attention to Kennedy's cheek, jawline, and hair details, which are prone to contact marks. Certification by respected grading services such as PCGS or NGC is essential when pursuing high-value examples, as even small differences in grade can result in significant price changes. Proper storage in inert holders, stable temperature conditions, and low humidity environments helps preserve the coin's condition over time. Reputable dealers, major coin auctions, and established numismatic communities are the best avenues for acquisition, especially for collectors targeting top-tier specimens. In conclusion, the 1972D Kennedy half-dollar represents a compelling blend of historical significance, iconic design, and modern condition rarity that elevates it far beyond its humble face value. While common in circulated form, its true prestige emerges in exceptional mint-state grades, where scarcity and demand intersect to create substantial market value. For both seasoned numismatists and ambitious newcomers, this coin offers a rewarding collecting challenge, combining the legacy of President Kennedy with the investment potential of high-grade modern U.S. coinage. Its continued appeal and limited supply at the highest levels suggest that the finest examples will remain prized centerpieces in advanced collections for years to come. Next up in the most expensive and valuable United States half-dollar from the year 1973, with a Denver Mint mark, is the 1973D Kennedy half-dollar, found in exceptionally high mint-state condition, particularly those graded MS-67 and above by major third-party grading services. While the 1973D half-dollar is not rare in a general sense, it holds a meaningful place in modern American numismatics because it represents an era when the Kennedy half-dollar was no longer struck in silver and was increasingly absent from everyday circulation. Collectors are drawn to this coin not for precious metal content, but for its condition rarity, historical continuity, and the challenge it presents in locating pristine examples. High-grade specimens command strong premiums, making the finest known examples some of the most expensive circulation strike half-dollars of the early 1970s, with steady demand from registry, set builders, and Kennedy specialists. Historically, the 1973D Kennedy half-dollar was minted during a transitional period in U.S. coinage, just 8 years after the removal of silver from half-dollars in 1971. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin was produced as part of the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy following his assassination. By 1973, half-dollars were primarily produced for collectors and storage rather than for heavy circulation, reflecting shifting public preferences and rising production costs. The early 1970s were marked by economic uncertainty, inflation, and changing monetary policies, all of which contributed to declining everyday use of large denomination coins. As a result, many 1973D half-dollars were saved in rolls, yet very few survived with the sharply struck details and flawless surfaces needed to qualify as top-tier examples. The design of the 1973D Kennedy half-dollar remains faithful to the iconic imagery introduced nearly a decade earlier. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, capturing a dignified and idealized likeness that has become one of the most recognizable portraits in American coinage. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicts the presidential seal with a heraldic eagle, shield, olive branch, and arrows, symbolizing strength and peace. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad alloy, weighs 11.34 grams, measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. What makes high-grade examples visually special is the presence of strong luster, clean fields, sharply defined hairlines, and crisp feather detail on the eagle, qualities that are surprisingly elusive for this issue due to inconsistent striking pressure and bag marks from mass production. Rarity for the 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar is driven almost entirely by condition rather than mintage, as more than 67 million coins were struck at the Denver Mint. Despite this large production figure, truly exceptional specimens are scarce because most coins exhibit contact marks, weak strikes, or dull luster. Coins graded MS-65 are relatively accessible, but those graded MS-67 or higher are genuinely rare and represent the top fraction of surviving examples. Error varieties such as off-center strikes, clip planchets, or die cracks can further enhance rarity and desirability, though these are infrequently encountered. Collectors place enormous emphasis on condition, and even minor imperfections can dramatically reduce a coin's value, making the finest survivors highly competitive acquisitions. In terms of market value, a typical circulated 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar is worth only its face value, while uncirculated examples in MS-63 to MS-64 condition generally sell for modest premiums ranging from $5 to $15. However, the market changes dramatically at higher grades, with MS-66 examples often bringing $50 to $150 depending on eye appeal. The most expensive and valuable examples, graded MS-67 or MS-67 Plus, have realized prices ranging from $1,500 to over $4,000 at auction, reflecting intense competition among advanced collectors. These prices are driven by low population reports, strong registry set demand, and the difficulty of locating coins with exceptional surfaces and original luster. Over time, values for top-grade examples have shown steady appreciation, particularly as collectors continue to pursue complete high-grade Kennedy half-dollar sets. For collectors interested in acquiring a valuable 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar, careful selection is essential. Coins should be examined closely for strong strikes, minimal contact marks, and vibrant, original luster, as these attributes significantly influence grading outcomes. Certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended, especially for higher-grade examples, as third-party authentication protects against overgrading and counterfeits. Proper storage in inert holders and stable environments helps preserve condition and long-term value. Collectors are best served by purchasing from established dealers, reputable auctions, or trusted numismatic communities, where provenance and grading accuracy are more reliable. In conclusion, the 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar stands as a compelling example of how modern U.S. coinage can achieve significant value through condition rarity rather than intrinsic metal content. Its historical connection to President Kennedy, its role in the evolution of clad coinage, and the difficulty of finding pristine examples combine to make it highly appealing to collectors. While most examples remain affordable, the finest known specimens represent true numismatic trophies with strong investment potential. For both new and seasoned collectors, the 1973 D. half-dollar offers an engaging blend of history, artistry, and challenge, ensuring its continued relevance and desirability in the world of modern U.S. coin collecting. Next up in the most expensive and valuable United States half-dollar from 1974, with the Denver Mint mark, is the 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that at first glance appears ordinary but becomes truly exceptional at the highest levels of preservation and rarity. Within modern U.S. numismatics, this coin represents a fascinating blend of mass production and elite scarcity, where millions were struck, yet only a tiny fraction survive in superb condition. Collectors are drawn to the 1974 D half dollar because it embodies the challenge of modern coin collecting, finding perfection in an era of heavy circulation and declining mint quality. High-grade examples, especially those certified in the top mint state levels, are highly sought after and command strong premiums, making this coin a standout within the post-silver Kennedy half-dollar series. The historical context of the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar is rooted in a transitional period for American coinage. By 1974, the United States had fully moved away from silver in circulating half-dollars, with the Kennedy series now struck in copper-nickel-clad composition. This shift reflected broader economic pressures, including rising metal prices and changing public attitudes toward hoarding silver coins. Minted at the Denver Mint, the 1974 D issue continued the legacy of President John F. Kennedy, whose image had appeared on the half-dollar since 1964 as a tribute following his assassination. Although no single historical event is tied exclusively to the 1974 issue, the coin represents an era when half-dollars were increasingly disappearing from daily commerce, quietly setting the stage for their modern collectible appeal. In terms of design and physical characteristics, the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar retains the iconic imagery created by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparro. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy with crisp lettering and strong relief when well struck, while the reverse displays the presidential coat of arms with an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. The coin measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs 11.34 grams, composed of a copper core bonded to outer layers of copper-nickel. What makes this coin especially impressive in high grades is the quality of its luster, strike sharpness in Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers, and the absence of contact marks, all of which are difficult to find due to the way these coins were stored and handled during production. Rarity is the defining factor that elevates the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar from a common circulation piece to a high-value collectible. While the Denver Mint produced tens of millions of these coins, the vast majority entered circulation or were stored in bulk bags that led to heavy surface abrasions. As a result, examples grading MS-67 or higher are exceedingly scarce, with MS-68 specimens being virtually unobtainable. Minor varieties, such as subtle doubled dies or exceptional strike quality, can further enhance desirability, but condition remains the single most important driver of rarity. Collectors competing for registry sets have intensified demand for top population coins, pushing prices sharply upward for the finest known examples. The market value of the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar varies dramatically depending on condition. Circulated examples typically trade for face value or slightly above, while standard uncirculated pieces in MS-63 to MS-65 range from modest sums to low three-figure prices. However, in elite grades the value rises exponentially. Certified MS-67 examples often sell for several $100s, while MS-67 plus coins can approach or exceed the $1,000 mark. In the rare instances where an MS-68 coin appears at auction, prices have reached several $1,000s, reflecting both extreme scarcity and fierce competition among advanced collectors. These values are supported by auction records and population data rather than speculation, underscoring the coin's legitimacy as a modern numismatic prize. For collectors seeking to acquire a high-quality 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar, careful selection and verification are essential. Coins should be examined closely for original mint luster, clean fields, and strong strikes, particularly on Kennedy's hair and the reverse eagle. Certification by respected grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended, as third-party grading provides confidence in authenticity, grade accuracy, and market liquidity. Proper storage in inert holders and stable environments is crucial to preserving surface quality, especially for high-grade examples. Collectors are best served by purchasing through reputable dealers, established auction houses, or well-known numismatic communities where provenance and grading standards are clearly documented. In conclusion, the 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar stands as the most valuable representative of its year and mint, when condition reaches the highest levels. Its significance lies not in precious metal content or low mintage, but in the extraordinary difficulty of finding flawless survivors from a heavily produced modern issue. With its strong historical connection, classic design, and dramatic price differences tied to grade, the coin holds lasting appeal for both new collectors and seasoned numismatists. As interest in registry quality modern coins continues to grow, the finest examples of the 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar are well positioned to remain prized centerpieces in advanced collections and enduring symbols of modern American coinage. Next up to in the most expensive and valuable United States half-dollar dated 1986 with a P mint mark is the 1986 P Statue of Liberty commemorative silver half-dollar, a coin that holds a special place in modern American numismatics. Unlike regular circulating half-dollars, this issue was struck as part of a landmark commemorative program and was never intended for everyday use, which immediately elevates its status among collectors. Its importance lies not only in its silver content, but also in its role as the first modern commemorative coin authorized by the United States Congress since the 1950s, making it highly desirable to both historical collectors and investors. Demand remains strong today because it represents the rebirth of the U.S. commemorative coin program, and high-grade examples continue to command premium prices, especially as interest in modern silver commemoratives grows worldwide. The historical context of the 1986 P half-dollar is deeply tied to one of America's most powerful symbols of freedom, the Statue of Liberty. Minted in 1986 at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin was issued to commemorate the centennial of the Statue of Liberty, originally dedicated in 1886 as a gift from France to the United States. The coin was authorized to help fund restoration efforts for the statue and Ellis Island, linking numismatics directly with national heritage preservation. This half-dollar belongs to the Statue of Liberty commemorative series, which also included a silver dollar and a gold $5 coin, making it part of a historically significant trio that marked a turning point in U.S. coinage policy and commemorative practices. In terms of unique features, the 1986 P Statue of Liberty half-dollar stands out for its artistic quality and symbolic depth. The obverse features a dignified portrait of Liberty inspired by classical imagery, designed by Edgar Z. Stever IV, with flowing hair and a calm yet resolute expression that echoes America's enduring ideals. The reverse depicts the Statue of Liberty herself, torch held high, rendered with sharp architectural detail and balanced composition. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, the coin weighs 12.5 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, giving it a substantial and elegant presence. In high-grade uncirculated or proof-like conditions, the surfaces display strong luster, frosted devices, and clean fields, which greatly enhance its visual appeal. Rarity and condition play a major role in determining the value of this coin, even though it is not rare in the traditional sense. The 1986 P half-dollar had a relatively high mintage compared to classic commemoratives, but many examples were mishandled, improperly stored, or melted for their silver content over time. Coins preserved in pristine mint state or proof-like condition, particularly those graded MS69 or MS70 by leading services such as PCGS or NGC, are significantly scarcer. The absence of major die varieties or widespread errors means that condition is the primary driver of rarity, and top population examples are fiercely competed for by registry set collectors. Market value for the 1986 P Statue of Liberty $50 varies widely based on condition and certification. Raw or lightly circulated examples typically trade close to their silver melt value, often in the range of $12 to $20 depending on silver prices. However, certified mint state coins graded MS-67 to MS-68 can sell for $40 to $100, while elite examples graded MS-69 regularly achieve prices between $150 and $300. The rare MS-70 specimens, which represent the absolute pinnacle of preservation, have realized auction prices exceeding $600 and, in some cases, approaching $1,000 when demand is strong. These values are driven by collector competition, limited high-grade populations, and the coin's importance as a first-issue modern commemorative. For collectors seeking to acquire this coin, careful attention to quality and authenticity is essential. High-grade examples should display strong, uninterrupted luster, sharp design details, and minimal contact marks, particularly in the open fields. Certification by reputable grading services is strongly recommended, as it protects against overgrading and ensures long-term liquidity in the marketplace. Proper storage in airtight holders, away from humidity and temperature fluctuations, is crucial to prevent tunning or surface damage. Collectors are best served by purchasing from established coin dealers, major auction houses, or well-regarded numismatic communities, where provenance and grading accuracy can be trusted. In conclusion, the 1986 P Statue of Liberty commemorative silver $50 is far more than a simple modern issue. It is a historically meaningful coin that bridges America's past and present. Its connection to the centennial of the Statue of Liberty, its role in reviving the U.S. commemorative coin program, and its attractive silver composition give it lasting appeal. For both new and seasoned collectors, this $50 offers a compelling blend of history, artistry, and investment potential, particularly in top-grade condition. As appreciation for modern commemoratives continues to grow, the finest examples of this iconic 1986 P $50 are likely to remain among the most valued and sought-after pieces in contemporary U.S. numismatics.